Hey everybody, welcome to I'm Not Crying, You're Crying, the show about anything and everything because it's our show. I'm here with the usual suspects. Juan.
Fuck you, Sean.
Thanks, man.
You too, Jay. Fuck you, Jay.
What did I do? Can you just tell me what I did?
Really? Do you want... No, dude, never mind.
Okay. And Jay. Hey, Jay, how you doing?
Hey, fuck you, Sean.
Oh, what? Can you tell me what I did?
You were born, man. You were fucking born. That's what.
Hey, you know what you did.
Okay, well, that makes sense. And I'm Sean. And this is our theme music. Hey everybody, welcome back to I'm Not Crying, You're Crying, Season 8, Episode 9, the penultimate episode.
And there it is.
That's right.
Word of the day.
That's
or
right.
word of 4 seasons ago.
You know, Juan, fuck you.
You learn one word and you play it out, man. Good job, Sean.
I got a word for you. I got a word for you, Juan.
Shut up, Jay. Shut the fuck up, Jay.
I want to know what the word is now.
You know, I'm so cold over here, I'm going to turn off my AC.
Wow, what an ass. Well, thank you guys for joining us on the penultimate episode. As a reminder, you can connect with us on our website at INCYCSHOW.com. You can find us on all the socials, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, and YouTube at INCYCSHOW. You can email us at INCYCSHOW.com. And if you want to help us grow, if you haven't already, take time to review us on iTunes. Take time to review us on iTunes because that's how we help. That's how we find more people like you. And as a note, Stitcher is going away. So if you listen to us on Stitcher,
What the fuck is
I know
Stitcher?
not a lot of you do. It's another way to listen to podcasts. Juan, thank you for being up on the news.
I listen
Stitcher's going
on
away.
Google Podcast and sometimes on Audible. So fuck you, Sean. Hey, which one's better for our ratings? Google Podcast or Audible?
Audible.
I said Audible. Shut up, Jay.
Audible.
Shut the fuck up, Jay.
Audible. Listen to us on Audible.
Listen to us on Audible.
Hey, guys, you can find us on Audible, Spotify, Maples TV.
You guys are so funny. I'm glad I get out of bed for this shit.
You can find us on Instagram.
Fuck Instagram. It's all about that one.
But anywho, take time to rate and review us on iTunes. And if you're listening on Stitcher Radio, you should know that's going away. So you'll have to find a new place to listen. But we're available on many different podcast platforms. With that said, gentlemen, how are you doing? Juan, you okay over there? You look like you're having a rough one, man.
I am.
Hi, Juan's kids.
Hello, children. Well, it sounds like Juan's doing okay. How are you doing, Jay?
I'm just, dealing with the heat, man.
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago in LA, 2 or 3 weeks ago, it was like fucking like the overcast like curse, and everyone couldn't deal with how cold it was and how like dreary it was. And now we are in summer. I left a plastic cup inside my car, and it shriveled into like a little tiny ball, like a shrink-a-dink, because that's how fucking hot it was.
Those were just your testicles.
Thanks, man. What? This is why people think you have ligma. That's why people think you have ligma, Juan, because you're always talking about other people's dicks. Always.
Hey, Jay, you're welcome to come down and use the pool one of these days.
I'm good.
Really? You wouldn't want to chill in the pool?
I'm good.
What about that?
That's a weird place to give that invitation.
What about the hot tub? Would you like to join me in the hot tub?
Maybe in the wintertime, but not in the summertime.
I'm a little warm for the fucking
Yeah, I don't want to become Juan and Jay Soup.
Yeah. Well, anywho, so today I want to talk to you guys about the news of the week, which I feel like is dominating my TikTok feed, which is the writer and actor strike, the SAG strike. Now, Juan, you brought it up last week, so I'm just curious how much you know about it.
What would you like me to tell you?
Everything you know about it.
Oh, wait, Jerry, you listening? Oh, Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, Juan, what, do you know anything about it?
Yes,
What do you got?
They are on strike.
You know why?
Why else, Sean? More pay. They want to get more pay because the way the system's set up, they get paid with box office returns, but streaming is still a gray area. Then there's the whole AI technology. Then there's also the whole CGI technology with people being brought back from death, like CGI Princess Leia or Commander Tarkin. So I think they have a valid point. I mean, they should get paid for their image as well, or they should be paid fairly for streaming because people are making money on streaming. Don't ask me how the money on streaming is made, but there's money being made there.
Yeah, Juan, that's that's basically it. They want more money. The rich want to get richer. Now, I watched this video from Leslie Mann.
Not all of them are rich, motherfucker. Not all of them are rich.
Thank you for interrupting.
No, well, you're like, the rich want to get richer. Not everybody that has the label of fucking actor is automatically a fucking billionaire, dude.
You know, you're right. And if you would allow me.
He wasn't talking about the actors. He was talking about the people that are paying the actors and the companies that are paying the writers.
And then I would like to apologize because the only reason I jumped down because on my Facebook feed, people were like slamming the Hollywood elite for making too much money and them getting greedy and wanting to make more money, and that's why they're on strike. And then other people going, good riddance, nobody misses you.
I think I read something that like they were talking about scanning background actors and being able to utilize their face and not having to use new background actors.
That is correct,
like that's crazy. You know how many jobs that takes away from people?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So with that said, I was going to reference a video that that I'll leave in the show notes from and her name is not Leslie Mann. Leslie Mann's the other girl from like This Is 40. This is the SNL girl, Leslie Jones.
Yes, Leslie Jones is the Ghostbuster.
Yeah, she loves this very passionate video on TikTok about how it's not about the rich wanting to get about rich actors wanting to get richer. It's about trying to preserve their ability to make a living wage. And I don't know if you guys know this, but in order to qualify for insurance through SAG, you have to make at least $26,000 in through work.
Yes.
Yeah.
And most actors don't get paid that like on their first couple jobs. So they have different types of things. They have things that are called different things, whatever. They have standard rates. If you have a line, you don't have a line if you're just doing background. Sometimes they get paid as little as like $500 a day, and sometimes they get paid up to $5,000 a day, just depending on what's going on. But all that is audition based, and an actor or an actress may go on 100 auditions and only book one job. You know, and those 100 auditions may happen throughout a calendar year. So, you know, these people are doing other work to supplement that pay. And so the video I saw that talked about them removing all background actors basically said that like Matt Damon and Ben Affleck were background actors. And if that had happened to them, we could live in a world where we don't get a chance to make movies like Good Will Hunting and like The Town and all that stuff because like they're removing all those jobs. You know, and yeah, these companies are these studios. So there's another video here that talks about the cost to end this, right? To end the writer strike. It's like $450 million, and it's not coming from one place, but it's split amongst the different studios, right? And every studio is kind of accountable for a different amount. So like, no one studio is going to be paying more like $20+ million, but when you put it into perspective of like how much money these studios make for the year and what this will cost. So like Disney, for example, or even Apple, I'll use Apple because Apple's a very large company with a lot of diverse things happening there. Right. And they have a very small streaming service, and the additional cost for them to do what the writers are asking is like $7 million a year. which is right now, based on what they have offer for streaming, $7 million a year in additional cost to that company, which is like 0.01% of their overall profit.
I thought it was $17 million a year.
Is it for Apple?
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact numbers, but you might be right. But even then, like, Apple is a $1 trillion company. So $17 million versus what they bring in trillions of dollars. Like, is that an unfair price to ask them to pay?
No, it's a drop in the bucket for, like Apple's streaming service. It's barely getting off the ground, but like some of the content that they're putting out there it's getting really good,
Yeah. And that's just Apple, but it's kind of the same story with like some of the larger studios too, like Paramount and Netflix and Disney. Like they have to pay like $15, $20, $30 million to help bring this total sum of like $475 million, like to bring it whole, and it's like 0.0% of their overall profit. So like, at what point do we need to? I don't know. At what point do these companies just need to say, fuck it, we'll just pay them? Or is the fear, do you think that there's a fear that, like, if they secede to this ask, they're going to be seceding to, like, future demands of future contract negotiations?
I don't know. I mean, it's kind of a weird time for the studios. Like, coming off of the pandemic, people weren't really watching a lot of movies. And even today, there's not a lot of people that are watching movies like they used to before the pandemic hit, So I don't know if the studios aren't making as much money as they used to make before the pandemic, and they're trying to adjust for that, Yeah.
But even then, like, what does it mean for, like, for example, Warner Brothers, they shelved a bunch of movies and took them as like losses so they could claim them on their taxes as loss, right? So like, what does it really mean to like make money at a studio? Like you take a movie like The Flash, it's the biggest superhero movie flop of like its time, of all time, as of right now. But like, is that movie going to be written off as like a loss on their taxes? So it doesn't really matter. They're going to get a break on it anyway. And I think we live in, and I don't know the math on movies, but like, they got to make X amount of money in order to be profitable. So like, it's something like The Flash or like really hurting the bottom line at like Warner Brothers. You know what I mean? Like, were they in that much trouble before they released The Flash? Like, why would you?
I think they were facing a little bit of trouble already. I mean, HBO Max wasn't as successful as they thought it would be. And now we have Max.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that's because it sounds like they were packaging it for another studio to buy it because the cost of like streaming is expensive.
It is.
And everyone's trying to get in cheap to like up the price like Netflix is. But anywho, the second part of it, one that you mentioned, was AI, right? Now, James Van Der Beek, the Dawson, if you watch Dawson's Creek, he put very eloquently, like, the thing that they're striking for is not just money for actors who are trying to get into the business to be able to make a living wage, but to protect the ability to write and act in things. And part of that has to do with CGI and AI, where studios aren't using them as tools to help kind of make their scripts better or to like get things done a little bit faster, using them as cost-cutting tools. So instead of hiring 10 writers, they'll just shove it into Chat GPT and they'll make that movie, right? Because people will go watch it. Do you think that's a valid fear?
Yeah. You remember the movie Idiocracy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Their most popular movie was a movie called Ow My Balls.
Yeah.
Like,
that's right.
That seems like something like a Chat GPT movie. Like that's the kind of like trash that, they're cheap to make. They'll put it out there, and then, they don't have to hire that many actors, or they can just recycle somebody's face. And, it's weird, but like that seems like a reality, like the art of like filmmaking and storytelling might die.
Yeah. I feel the same way. And one, you didn't chime in on it, so I don't know if you feel the same way. But I think, yeah, using AI as a cost cutting tool will kill so many. Like we won't get. I'm trying to think what's the most creative film that have come out in the last like 10 years, and I can't think of anything off the top of my head because I feel like I've seen a bunch of remakes or like Marvel Universe stuff, and I'm trying to think of like the last super creative movie I saw that like comes top of mind. It's a movie. It's one of the movies I bought on Blu-ray, but it's called The Fall. You ever hear of it?
No.
It's about an actor who falls while doing a stunt, and he's stuck in a hospital with a little girl. And he tricks his little girl into getting him more medicine by telling her these fantastical stories. And as he's telling her the stories, he's like directing her where to get these like codeine or whatever the fuck they're trying to keep from him. But it's crazy. But it's a little indie film, and it's a fun little film to watch. But they don't make stuff like that like all that often anymore because it didn't have any like name like how what do you call that one? Name brand actors like
A-listers?
Well, I mean, like I think the last movie I saw that was that kind of artistic caliber was Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah. That's true. I take it back. That's true.
Yeah, because that with Michelle Yeoh and Ki-Hoo Kwan.
What's the name of the movie?
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Never
heard of it.
Yeah.
Never heard of
Never
everything.
heard of it. It won did it win an Oscar? I know he won Best Actor or Best Supporting Actor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because it's Asian. You don't like Asians.
I hang out with you, don't I?
Sparingly.
Just on Zoom. Yeah, that's true. I take it back. Yeah, and that's from A24 Studios, right? And they're responsible for making a bunch of different like things. They very brave studio. I don't know if they're one of the struck studios. I assume they are, just in either solidarity or because like, or because they know. But but like if we let AI kind of take over and like from a corporate standpoint, I absolutely think that they would use it as a tool to like just cut people out of the process. But I think if anything, it does more to expose Hollywood. I won't say Hollywood, but the machine of the corporate machine of it, where like lots of stuff happens on sets that don't necessarily need to happen. Lots of exuberant things, like the cast is getting gifts of like iPads and watches and like motorcycles and shit like that. All those things are hundreds of thousands of dollars that like they don't need to spend, and maybe they do need to spend it, but they like. For tax purposes, but
but the cast themselves gives gifts as well. They give crew gifts and shit like that.
Well, that's one thing when like it's coming out of like Keanu Reeves' pocket. But I mean, like when the studio is going, hey, everyone gets an iPad for being on this thing. When they put that shit together, like that comes out of that movie's budget. Like the actors, and it could be an actor's like contract thing where like they're asking for. And I don't know the SAG contract well enough, right? But I watched this show. It's called Jury Duty with James Marsden. Do you guys see this thing?
No.
It's James Marsden's. He's in it, and they're tricking a guy. They think he's in a real jury duty thing. But anyway, everybody in there is an actor with the exception of this one guy. And they would have 2 lunches on the show because per the contract, they have to supply the actors lunches. And then with this guy, not an actor, would come in and go, hey, so we got to order lunch. And then they will order a second lunch, right? Like in order to help sustain the thing. So here is this studio kind of like spending all this money to buy the crew lunch one time and then buy the show lunch another time. And it's just another bit of wasted money. So like maybe there's just stuff like that they're trying to fund. Like, and I don't know, set stuff well enough to be able to speak to it. But Jay,
I will say this, the few times I worked on sets, I really enjoyed catering. That was the best thing ever. I
mean, but should it be like it's going to a workplace, right? I mean, like, can't they get a like hour lunch break and go to In-N-Out or bring their lunch or get a microwave and shit like that?
It's like different jobs. Different jobs give you benefits. Some jobs give you free food. Some jobs give you discounted on meals. It's like if you worked in food service, the expectation is because I work at a restaurant, I should get a free meal.
But Jay, I wanted to ask you, as a person who wrote the skits for the first season, remember that? Remember those skits?
Yeah.
And as someone who is a comedian. You write your own material. Like, you know, how concerned are you with AI really taking over? Like, do you think AI is going to get good enough to be able to write stand up?
No,
never. You don't think you'll be able to write?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Not even a little bit. Like, not even.
No, not even a little bit. Because like stand up material, it takes trial and error. It's like I don't know. I don't want to compare it to jazz, but it's kind of like, you know, you're improvising, but you're also like tweaking things. You know, with GPT,
Yeah.
Chat GPT, they kind of, it goes, this is my idea of a perfect joke, and then that's it. You know, it sucks, and then they're not going to change. It doesn't change it. You know, like
with Chat GPT, you can say, "Tell me a perfect joke." Oh, make it less offensive to this, or make it more lean towards this. But those, if I'm understanding you right, you're saying those are things that as a comedian, you make those tweaks in the moment. So let's say you already wrote this joke, you got the structure of it, and when you get into the crowd, you kind of feel them out, and you can tweak whatever it was, like in the moment, right?
Yeah, it's one of the like for me as far as like doing stand up, like you can kind of write on stage while you're performing it, you know, and that's kind of the fun part of like trying to come up with like stand up material. You have an idea for a joke, you throw it out there, and then, you know, as you're trying to perform it or trying to convey your ideas, like other ideas will kind of like come in, and you're like, oh, I should throw that out there. Or then after the fact, you're like, oh, I should have said this, or I should have done that, you know? So,
I mean, I feel like there's a world where there'll be an artificial intelligence doing a stand-up set. But so the other thing is that, so about replacing people's faces in CGI and bringing people to life, or giving people like another performance, right? So like a world where they had enough digital scans of Paul Walker's face to put him in the remainder of the Fast and the Furious movies, using his brother as a body double and using AI to clone his voice.
The thing is, that's also there's like, that's also a gray area, because they are getting permission from the estate to allow them to use his image, likeness, and character name. Correct? It's not like they're like saying, well, fuck you. We're just recasting Brian with somebody that looks just like him and can act. They're getting permission from Paul Walker's family.
Well, yeah, because I think they believe in the franchise, and they're probably, the franchise, I'm sure, offered them something.
Yeah.
But
I mean, even Paul Walker's daughter had a tiny role or cameo in the last film.
But I mean, you know, like, do you think that an actor should be paid for any time their likeness is used if they've agreed to give a studio their likeness? So like, I
think they do have some sort of clause in the contract, but I think what they're arguing for is something stronger, because you have Crispin Glover from Back to the Future, who notoriously sued Universal because, and Jake can correct me if I'm wrong, is he was cast in the first film, was proven to be a difficult person to work with, and subsequently wasn't cast in the other two films, but they hired another actor that
the first two films of what?
The next two films of Back to the Future, and they hired another actor that looked just like him and portrayed his character, and I guess sounded like him, and he sued Universal and won.
But that's not like a digital likeness. That's a
no, but
a guy that looks like him.
They didn't show his face. They showed his back, but you can, like, they did a voice of George McFly, you know, but it was an impression of Crispin Glover, you know. So he's suing because they used his likeness in the second movie, which he did not give them permission to do.
So in that case, that's similar to like with AI technology or CGI, is for Carrie Fisher's likeness to be used, like her to look like the Princess Leia from A New Hope, and God, what was the The movie,
The Rise of Skywalker.
No, not Rise of Skywalker. The prequel, the one where Darth Vader was a badass at the end. Fuck, I forget. No,
Rogue One.
Rogue One. Thank you. They paid her good money for that as well. Or with the actor that portrayed the general. He's been dead for how long? I'm sure his estate got money.
Yeah, but what about, like, I don't know, 50 years from now when they do like Fast 28?
Fast 99. Fast 99.
Well, the fact is, for the actors that are well known enough, I'm pretty sure they're going to have some sort of estate or family that will govern who can use.
Hey, Juan, are you caught up on Black Mirror at all?
I never really got into it, brother.
I watched. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So the most, and spoiler alert, skip this next like 15, 20 seconds. But in the episode of Black Mirror, there's a girl. Her name is Joan, and they use her likeness to basically film a version of her life with like different actresses. So one level of it is like it's her. The next level of it is Selma Hayek. The next level of it is like Kate Blanchett. The next level of it is some other actor and actresses. But all because she like signed some contract for something and it made it okay to do.
No, she just signed up for the streaming service, and then
yeah. Sorry,
that contract, the consent form. You know, she just signs it without reading it, and then they said, "Oh, we can use your likeness too."
Yeah, and it was happening to Selma Hayek, and they go on the fucking rampage, and then it turns out they're in different levels of a simulation, which is all crazy. But but like you think we'll run into a world like that where, you know, studios were like, no, fuck that noise. Where you can sign up for you can get your face scanned, and you can get your kid's face scanned, and you can be in a movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme and Selma Hayek. Like, you want to remake The Matrix, but you want to be Keanu Reeves, and they'll just fucking scan your face in it, your voice and everything. You'll read the lines, like, because that's the reality of it, Juan. Like, where they'll be able to put these celebrities in like remember in Ghostbusters 2 where they were doing like kids parties to make money?
Yeah.
Like that, this is where it could potentially lead, where, you know, for the studio to make money and not the actor, they'll put them in like, you know, 5-0 Goes West, you know, and they'll use their AI version of their voice, which will be good enough to replicate the emotion that they need to get out of there. And it'll be like, now voice with Selma Hayek, or you can buy your own copy of it, whatever. Whatever. Would you do that, Juan? Would you, if the technology existed, would you do that?
So let me get this straight. You're saying that they could put like myself and my family in historic movies, but then they get to use my likeness afterwards, however they deem necessary?
Yeah, probably. No. What about you, Jay?
Yeah, I don't think I'd. I mean, I'm not saying no. I mean, depending on what kind of money they'd pay a person to do that.
I think I'd do it if I could, like, you know, be in the Matrix or something. I think it'd be pretty cool. Anyway, the last thing I'll talk to you guys about is the shows that are impacted right now, that are all impacted because of the strike, the actor and writer strike, which is Stranger Things, which is slated to come out in 2027 now. So those kids are going to be like fucking 30, 40.
Insane.
Then we have to save you.
Who's that?
Yeah, that's Nick Nolte. Who was that? Euphoria, which I've never seen.
Is Euphoria the one with Zendaya?
Yeah. Yeah. Wednesday is delayed indefinitely, so who knows when Jenna Ortega will be able to make up a random dance. The thing I'm really sad about is that The Last of Us has been pushed to 2025 for now, assuming that it gets resolved anytime soon.
Why until 2027 for Stranger Things?
I think because they hadn't written as much as the show as I think we had thought.
So they got fucked over by both strikes, not just the actor strike.
Yeah. And then Avatar 5, which I don't know if have we all seen Avatar 2? It's like Avatar 5 is supposed to be delayed until like 2037 or 47 or some shit like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I was reading that Zoe Saldana will be 53, but when she did Avatar 1, she was, what, 27?
Yeah. So, you know, I don't know why it takes so long for these movies to come out anyway, but, you know, yeah. So
James
the writer's
Cameron
strike.
is a dick. When is the Directors Guild up for a strike?
No clue. But I feel like directors are getting paid pretty well. The last thing I want to talk to you guys about before we head into the gauntlet, which is super quick. So I found this little fun thing on TikTok again about generational curses. Now, when I say that, it's just stuff that we do that was just passed down from, like, you know, parent to child, like stuff that happens in the household. For example, you know, if you just save a bunch of bags like under your kitchen sink or like somewhere in your garage.
Oh, you're calling it a curse because you do it for no reason? Or are you saying,
well, I mean,
like,
I do it because
curse, like if you don't wipe your feet, or one of the dumb ones, like if there's a moth indoors, somebody in your family's going to die?
No, I just mean, like, you know, weird generational habits that people, you know, for example, you know, like you have trash bags, right? You just save a bunch of them. There's some drawer in your house that's just full of fucking trash bags, like an infinite amount of trash, like store bags. Yeah. Yeah. You think your kids are going to do that? You're going to teach your kids to do it? You're going to pass
nobody
on
really
that
taught me to
generational
save
trauma?
the grocery bags and reuse them for trash, but I have a big trash bag full of little grocery bags in my pantry.
Yeah, same. I have, like, the funny thing is we threw a bunch away because we were like, I don't know when we're going to use all these fucking bags.
Yeah.
But our collection has grown again.
Really?
And yeah.
I use them every day.
Well, yeah, like, we use them every day too. Like, put them in like little trash cans everywhere in the house.
Sean's probably like me. Like, you go to the grocery store and you forget your reusable bags, or you buy reusable bags and you go, I'm going to bring them because I'm tired of paying the 10 cents every time I shop, and I forget them all the time.
My toxic trait is thinking I'm only going to need one fucking bag inside the store, because I'll take one, but I'll never take the second one because I think I'll fit everything in one fucking bag. Yeah, Jay, do you have a drawer full of like the grocery store bags?
Yeah, I have that, like, and I have a junk drawer with tools.
Yep.
Yeah. yeah. I don't even know why. I don't know how I started it. I don't even know where it came from. It just was like, well, I'll put this in here, and then it just became the thing. One of the ones I'm trying to get better about, and I don't know if you guys do this, but growing up, we can only open one box of cereal. Like, you know, if there's a 3-pack of cereal, we're only opening one bag, and once the other one was empty, then you can open the next one. And to this day, if I have multiple bags of cereal, I only open one, and I don't even want to open the next one. Like, I feel like I'm wasting it if I do, or I'll get in trouble.
In this household, we have multiple bags open because sometimes they like different ones. So, like right now, I have the bootleg version of Lucky Charms and the bootleg version of Cookie Crisp.
Cookie O's?
No, it's Cookie O's is the circle, like Oreo cereal wannabe. Cookie Crisp is the small cookie thin cereal.
Yeah, but even to this day, what about like, do you guys reuse containers from like from other
That's
stuff,
a Mexican
like,
thing to do, like sour cream, fill it with salsa, and I stopped doing that shit.
Yeah.
I have real I have real containers.
Oh, this guy over here with the money.
I know.
How about you, Jay?
Yeah. Well, like, if someone will give us like food in Tupperware, I'll keep their Tupperware.
Motherfucker.
My toxic trait is
that why I don't get my shit back?
Yes.
You've never given me anything in a Tupperware.
No, because I know my lesson. I give you fucking disposable plates and aluminum foil.
That's fair. I think that's fair. I mean, you know, like if I'm giving you something, I shouldn't. I probably want it back anyway. But yeah, we'll still. It depends on what it is, but we'll still store stuff in like random like we'll buy stuff that'll come in like container. We'll just keep it. We'll hold on to it. Another random thing I do, and I don't know if do you guys do this. If something has like a lid that goes over it, right? Like a foil, I don't take it all the way off. I use it to cover it, and then I put the lid back on the thing.
That's the you thing.
Wait, like on a what?
So like you get sour cream, right? You get sour cream. Sour cream comes with that little like tin foil thing on top.
Oh, that little cellophane.
No, it's not cellophane. Like if it's cellophane,
some things have cellophane type thing, but tinfoil is literally like a yogurt cap. I mean, like for example, like I don't like yogurt. I do like Yoplait non-fat yogurt. It's the only yogurt I'll eat because it tastes like flavored pudding. But I won't take that thing all the way off until I know I'm going to throw it away. Because what if I need to cover it again, like very quickly or without whatever? But like I find myself, like for example, I just bought these almonds and I took the foil part off, ate the almonds, and I covered it again. Like I tried to unwrinkle the foil and then put the top right back on. You guys don't do that?
No, I'll try to find a container to put stuff in.
Yeah, see, I don't want to waste a container on stuff like something like that. It already came in a container already. So I'm like, why would I waste a container to, whatever.
It's not wasting, it's organizing.
I still use the container it came with, but I remove the fucking tin foil or cellophane and put the lid it had.
Are you, what about like, did your parents ever get mad at you guys for sleeping in on the weekend?
No, well, I never slept in.
What, really? Never? Ever?
Yeah, when I was a kid, I would wake up super early just to watch like Saturday morning cartoons.
That's fair.
Yeah, so I would wake up at like 5 a.m. Like for me, like sleeping in was waking up at like 7.
That's fair. That's fair. Juan, do your parents get mad at you for sleeping in?
Yes, and I wasn't really allowed because growing up with my dad on the days that we didn't have school and we were old enough, we were expected to wake up early at the crack of dawn to go help him clean up the bar and collect bottles. So now that I'm an adult and the kids sleep in, I enjoy that time, man, because that means I get to sleep a little bit more.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, I'm trying to think of some more generational curses that like
when I don't know if this is a generational curse, but when you're like organizing stuff at your house, do you have like rules?
Yes.
Like your own set of rules that you abide by when you're like organizing stuff?
Yeah. But
forget that. Even when you go grocery shopping, do you like separate the stuff on the conveyor belt in groups? That way it's easier to bag at the end?
No.
Fuck you.
Yeah, no, I will, to answer your first question, Jay, yeah, I have a specific way that I will do things. However, so does my wife. So I never know where anything is actually.
Well, yeah, like for me, if something is in a box and I can take it out of a box and store it and throw the box away, I'll do that. And then if I'm like organizing stuff, I need things to be accessible that I use all the time. And the stuff that I don't use, I can store them, a little further away, So, I mean, those are kind of my rules as far as like cleaning up and organizing things.
So wait, are you saying like you'll go like on a bulk shopping run and then like you'll take all the things out of their containers, right? Like so flour goes into like another flour container and you toss the flour bag out. And we'll mention almonds. So you put almonds in another container and you throw out the container?
Yeah, like for me, if I buy cereal, I have a container for the cereal. I'll take the cereal out of the box, put it in the container, and then throw away the bag in the box. So I just have that.
That's
in
Jay's
storage.
method of hiding that he buys generic brand cereal. So if anybody comes over, he'll be like, "Hey, you want some Lucky Charms?" Instead of he's actually giving me mateys.
No, I buy 2 types of cereal. One is called Brand Buds, and the other one is Fiber One Honey Clusters. And these give you about 65% of your fiber for the day. So I love these cereal because I can just eat a bowl of that and get most of my fiber in.
That's so pragmatic of you, Jay. That's so pragmatic. It's I mean the cereal because it. I'll just say that Fiber One is a really good cereal. I've only had it every once in a while, but it's good.
Yeah, the brand buds look like kibble, and then
they sound crunchy as shit, dude.
Oh yeah, they're just slightly softer than grape nuts.
Oh, so when I was growing up, my grandma used to buy grape nuts, and that was like fucking chewing rocks. Like it's like you couldn't swallow them until they were sand, even in milk. Oh god. Yeah, no, I do have a method to my own madness, but so does my wife. And if I'm being honest, my wife does most of the organizing here. So 9 times out of 10, I'm asking her where she put it. And then she'll just say, this is like, for example, I've been grilling a lot on the weekend. So she's like, this is where your barbecue stuff is. So I just put it all back over there, you know? And then like in my brain, yes, it makes sense to have the things I use the most, like nearby. But like, I'm not the one that puts it away. So I can't really complain.
Your wife is training you.
Grooming. That's yeah. I'm like, I just do whatever she tells me to do. It's just easier that way.
You've been broken, my friend.
It's okay. This isn't Game of Thrones. I'll bend the knee. I don't really give a shit, dude.
You have no need to bend. Yeah.
What?
Thanks, Jarvis. Well, Juan, Jay, thank you for sharing. Anything else before we move on to let Peter on the show and possibly make Juan feel really bad about himself today?
Fuck you, Sean.
Thanks, man. Well, Juan, is that time of the show for you and Piz to go at it.
Yay.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. What time is it?
It's tool time.
It's tool time.
Hey!
It's hammer time.
It's what time?
Time for Hulkamania.
No.
Brother.
It's adventure time?
No.
It's just in your mouth time.
That's fucking right. It's time for it. You know, the only one that pays for that is me. You know that, right?
Yeah, and you're the one that keeps on pushing for the segment, so...
You're like a raccoon.
Why am I like a raccoon?
You're not even
There's
like
a huge
how...
possibility we might not make fun of you today.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So how am I like a raccoon?
Well...
You're all over the place.
Yeah.
And you eat garbage.
It's true.
You're a trash panda.
And you always look shocked when people find you doing shit. But Juan, it is that time of the show. Peter, how are you doing? How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent.
Thank you for joining us again on another glorious evening as Does Not Compute with Piz and Jizz. I'll play you in and we can get started.
Awesome.
And now it's time for It Does Not Compute with Juan Intelligence and Peter Intelligence. Piz and Jizz.
Juan, it's not even that late. Why are you yawning?
That's exactly what I'm saying. But anyway,
I'm going to take a
the
nap
first
for
two
this
things
segment.
I want to say. Juan was saying something, but who cares? The first two things that I want to say is
Fuck you, Peter.
shout out to Nikos, one of the listeners of the show. He's like, hey man, if you get on the show tonight, I want you to shout me out. So I'm doing that. Number one. And number two, last episode, I was cracking up when you called Juan Zoidberg. I had to pause the podcast just to laugh for like 2 straight minutes. That was hilarious.
Oh, well,
It's one of those jokes that you didn't catch during the recording, or was he not present for it?
I think it was everything
After
outside the segment. So
yeah.
It was outside the segment.
Oh, okay. Then I understand now. Never mind.
Well, I'm sorry, Juan. I'm sorry. You know, there was a strong possibility we weren't going to make fun of you, but then he brought up Zoidberg, so that might be out the window. But like last week, we talked about Benjamin Jabbit-Tuya, Stephen Fisher, doing brownface. Is that what we call that?
Yeah, brown face. And you know, just to talk about brown face, just touch on it just a little bit. I found Siri on my phone. I changed it to an Indian voice, and it speaks English, and it's freaking awesome.
Wait, what?
Yes. So hold on.
Wait, you program your Siri to be culturally insensitive?
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely.
Oh my fucking Lord.
That's pretty
So
good.
from now on, I'm only going to use Siri in Indian. And what's funny is originally Siri was only a woman's voice, but I couldn't listen to Siri because I'm not going to listen to a woman. So I changed it to a man's voice. And for the past like 2 weeks, it keeps reverting to a woman's voice again. I'm like, again, I can't I'm not gonna sit here and listen to a woman, so I changed it to an Indian guy's voice, and that is way cooler.
That is.
Don't you have yours to a British voice, Sean?
No, mine is on Siri Voice 3, which is known as the black Siri voice.
Oh yeah, there was the thing about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Black Siri.
Yeah, Black Siri. That's hold on here. Let me see if I can activate it.
Oh, I forgot. Juan doesn't have Siri. He has a Android.
I fucked it up somehow.
You know my favorite thing when you ask Siri something?
What is it?
She goes, uh-huh.
yeah. Hold on. Siri.
Wait, is that female Siri or is that male Siri?
What time is it in New York?
Same for you.
It's 12:33 a.m. in New York, New York.
Holy shit!
Why'd you react like that, Juan? Yeah, why'd you react like that?
That's how he reacts to all black people.
What the fuck?
Holy shit.
Yeah. Siri voice number 3, let's see here, is known as the Black Siri voice. I don't know why. American Voice 3.
Really, Sean? You don't know why?
Really? Yeah, I don't know why.
Really, Sean?
I don't know why either. It doesn't make any sense why you'd react that way unless you were, racist.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Hey Siri, what time is it in New Delhi?
I don't
actually displayed the clock.
I don't think he appreciates your misogyny. That's why he refused to answer.
Yeah. Ironically, I am a father of daughters, and I have changed all of my assistants, all my digital assistants from female voice to male voices, just so that when they ask like the assistant to do something, it's not a woman's voice.
Both the male Siri and the Indian Siri, the Indian male and the Indian female Siri are talking shit about Peter.
Can you believe
my wife
this
already
motherfucker?
knows all my jokes. So when it defaulted back to female Siri, she goes, "Your bitch ass is gonna listen to a woman." And I started laughing, and I'm like, "You know my joke. I'm not gonna say it."
Yeah, dude, that's well. Hey, good look over there.
And then he backhanded her.
Yeah, it was like, hey, mind your business. To the moon, Alice. You Ralph Cramden over there? Is that what's happening?
I am very proud of you that you actually know the character's name. Good job.
You're proud of me for knowing a character's name, Juan?
It's an old TV show, man.
Why?
Yeah, but they reran that on Nick at Night and several networks.
Sean was poor. He didn't have cable TV, man.
Well, Cedric
also
the Entertainer, when they did a redo of the movie or the show.
Oh, yeah. No, he made a movie.
They made the movie, and Cedric the Entertainer played him.
Yeah, it was a black reboot.
Yeah, man.
The movie also sucked balls. Wasn't it Cedric the Entertainer and Bernie Mac or
No, Mike Epps.
Mike Epps? There you go.
Yeah,
what? That's pretty racist there, Juan.
How is it racist, motherfucker?
You're confusing black people. That's
No,
like saying,
fuck you.
That's like saying Selena and Jennifer Lopez are the same person.
Well, kind of. One played the other on TV, and the other one was dead, so she could play the other one.
a Puerto Rican played a Mexican. That's not okay, Juan. It's not okay.
Well, that's true.
Hey,
But Juan,
she looked the part and she acted.
Juan does
Get over it.
It's Juan's culture. He doesn't care about it. He doesn't defend his own culture.
That's true.
He'd rather be upset about arbitrary
Peter,
shit.
Peter said it last time. Mexicans, we don't care. Bring us back with fucking Speedy Gonzalez.
I think you
and
don't care.
I don't want to be called Latinx, so go fuck yourself.
I think you don't care. But anyway, the thing I wanted to talk to you guys about today.
Órale, arriba.
Thanks, man. The thing I wanted to talk to you guys today about
Haunted
today.
Mansion?
No, not the Haunted Mansion, you dipshit.
Yeah, it's a couple days and it comes out, man.
Are you
gonna
guys
go see it, Peter?
Is it coming out? Because of
Yeah.
If it's in the theater, then the answer is no.
Yeah, I think that's one of the movies I could take the kids to go see.
Because maybe the AC is gonna go out like that other movie, but I'm not gonna mention that movie.
The Sound of
today.
Music?
Yes, like in the Sound of Music.
Music.
But anyway, Juan, what I want to talk to you guys about today is, you guys ever see this skit called Men on Film? It's an In Living Color skit from like the early 90s.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. Juan, are you
Bozo
familiar?
the Clown?
Are you familiar with it, Juan?
No.
It's where David...
It's been ages since I saw.
I'm surprised, Juan, because you seem so old.
That's where the Wayans brothers guys started off at.
In Living Color, yeah, it's a Keenan Ivory Wayans production. But
And then
Men on
Jim
Film,
Carrey started off in that one too.
yeah, thank you for giving me random facts, Jarvis.
I know this because I actually watched him.
Actually,
That's where
Jim Carrey was in a movie called Earth Girls Are Easy with Jeff Goldblum and Damon
Yeah.
Wayans.
He was.
Before
he was.
In Living Color, so...
Yeah.
Is that where he? Yeah.
Is that where he what, Juan?
They made
all
up.
we're missing is I Like Turtles.
Yeah.
Right, Juan?
I like turtles, right? I like
Yeah.
them spicy.
No, I like turtles.
I like turtles.
You guys are fucking idiots.
So, but anyway,
Way to go. Way to go.
Well, Juan, if you would
When
just
the
let
fuck did we get ice cream?
yeah, Juan, if you would just let me get through it, then you wouldn't be the butt of the joke. Anywho, Men on Film is an In Living Color sketch where David Loudon Greer and Damon Wayans play two transgender, gender fluid, gay males who are making pointed observations on new media coming out at the time. So they would do exuberant things on there, like give the movie two snaps and a wave and some crazy shit like
I remember that one. Yeah.
This is a guy who said he knew exactly what we were talking about just a moment ago.
No. Fuck you.
I Like Turtles.
So anyway, yeah. Now, the reason why I bring it up is because last week we talked about Brownface with Stephen Fisher. Now, do you think that we could get away, like some sketch comedy show could get away with doing, another Siskel and Ebert type movie review show with people who are portraying anyone from the LGBTQA plus community?
No, man. Straight to jail.
Straight
to jail.
to canceled prison. Even if it were a satire, just like this was, do you think...
Let me put it this way. Do you think any sketch comedy show can have members of the LGBTQA plus community portraying those characters, but more...
You got a plus there.
I did say plus, but anyways.
No, plus.
Plus? Is it plus or are you...
It's plus now, man. It's constantly changing.
I don't know if he's pulling my leg or not. Anyways, if they play an exaggerated version of the characters, like a stereotypical gay guy or flamboyant, do you think they could get away with it because they're of that orientation, or would they even get in hot trouble?
Hot trouble, huh?
No, I'm like being serious. Like,
Yeah, no,
like if they portray them in a over exaggerated flamboyant way, would their own community attack them and be like, "Hey, we're trying to break away from these stereotypes and we're trying to fight against these stereotypes and stop other people doing it. Why the fuck are you taking us a step back?" It's kind of like when people are like, "Oh, it's okay for me to use the N-word. I'm black," and now other black people jump on them and be like, "What the fuck are you doing, man?"
Well, I mean, it's just because it's such a stereotype of like gay men, and it's only gay men that they do that. Like with like lesbians, it's a whole different character, and they don't want to see that character either. But yeah, it's almost like the Asian stereotype character in those old movies. It's just over the top. It's they're over flamboyant. But it depends on like where you put that character, because they can have that character in a rom-com as the gay best friend.
Yeah, yeah, super sassy and like I just watched. Go ahead, Peter.
I was thinking The Last Man Standing, who can actually go that far without getting canceled, are two shows, and not even sketch comedy. The sketch comedy went out the door a long time ago, where you're walking on eggshells. I would say South Park and Family Guy. Like, I don't know if you've seen any of those episodes where they're still touching on current events and going all the way, no holds barred.
Okay, I have another one. Do you think The Birdcage would have been able to be made today with Robin Williams?
Of course.
Nathan Lane, safe. But what about Robin Williams?
Of course.
Why?
Robin Williams is playing the play was based on the movie was based on a play.
Yes.
But I mean, Robin Williams is playing a character, and for the most part, that character is pretty grounded where he was walking that line of being like over the top and being an actual like person that you could, feel for and relate to. It's just when they play characters that don't have a face, then it becomes just a cardboard cutout of a person, and that's what people don't like,
Yeah, I agree. I think when you take the Damon Wayans character, or you take the David Alan Grier character, and they're like kind of fleshed out characters, right? They are essentially two people who know each other very well, who are commenting on film because that's what they like to do, right? But when you make it like an object stereotype, I think that's where you start to get in the territory where you get to the point of like no return. So I think like all things being considered equal, yeah, I think that people will have problems with it, but I don't think that this is being called up. Like no one's going back to the archives and trying to cancel Keenen Ivory Wayans because of these skits, or even Damon Wayans or David Alan Grier. I think like when you get to stuff like when you get to stuff like Ted Danson doing brownface, remember that?
Well, that was just offensive though.
But it wasn't grounded, like it wasn't it was offensive, and it wasn't grounded in anything other than like offensiveness. Like I don't know what other reason he could have to have done that.
That was more for shock value, and he's never been that type of like actor or personality. Yeah. He's an actor, he plays these goofy characters, and for him to, put on blackface out of nowhere, it's shocking.
Yeah, and it's not, and to bring it back to In Living Color, In Living Color has other men portraying feminine figures. So like we talked earlier off air about Jamie Foxx playing Wanda, and Jim Carrey playing Vera DeMilo, right?
I mean, what about Damon Wayans when he played Handyman?
Oh,
Handyman
Jesus Christ!
Was the handicapped superhero, and he did the stereotypical like mentally challenged voice, where it's
that wouldn't have been able to happen nowadays.
No, they had a whole league of handicap heroes. Yeah. Oh my God! Yeah. It's horrible. I agree. I think, but again, but no one's calling these skits up. So my question is, do you think they're not touching this show because this is like the black run sitcom, right? Or sketch comedy show. So they to call it into question is to also maybe even find yourself to be a little bit racist. Like or you think that they're just not calling it up because they didn't find it that offensive because they don't think it was grounded in anything offensive at the time. They're kind of chalking it up to 90s comedy.
I honestly think so. Yeah, I think it would be it's always we didn't know better back then because we weren't adults back then. So now we know that it's not okay. So we're not going to do it anymore. I learned from my mistakes of the past. It's like, nah, it was racist then, or it was wrong then. It should be wrong now. I mean, it was a little bit more acceptable before. So, I mean, I think they get a pass, or should get a pass.
Well, I think they knew that they were doing what the characters was like wrong, but they wanted to push the boundaries of what they could do on television. At the time, like Fox was still a young network, and at the time, their TV shows were considered like trash sitcoms, and then Married with Children came out and it was a breakout hit, and then In Living Color came out and it was a pop culture like phenomenon, for a couple seasons. Mm-hmm. So it's In Living Color is a part of like pop culture and like hip hop history, so they can't touch it really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think imagine a world where In Living Color played by some imaginary PC rules, where still some of their stuff would be offensive, but I think they would have been called out about it even today. But I think because they were so risque and pushing the envelope so much that they kind of get a pass. Like they kind of get a these guys were out there doing stuff for the world of sketch comedy that because they did it now. I feel like if In Living Color never happened, then shows like Mad TV never happened. Like,
But Mad TV wasn't that risque, man.
I mean,
it kind of was borderline. I mean,
I
like
think it had
when,
its moments, but like, yeah, I know you don't get like tongue in cheek jokes like they have the butt heads and the fucking dick noses or whatever like They Can Live in Color had, but you get Mrs. Swan.
Yeah, I forgot Mrs. Swan. That
you got Bon Qui Qui.
You get stuff like that. But anyway,
yeah, but I mean, if it wasn't for Living Color, and Living Color introduced a lot of those characters into like television, like those gay characters that did Men on Film, like you didn't really see those type of characters. Like, I think this was before Ellen came out, and there weren't many gay characters on television, and this was an introduction to like that community, like the same with like the black community and a lot of the black comedians. Like, it wasn't there wasn't a lot of like exposure to them, and then In Living Color came, and then
yeah, no, that's definitely true. Especially I totally remember as a kid that they were making a big deal that Ellen is gonna come out on one of her shows or episodes of her show, and because there weren't a lot of LGBTQIA plus people that were out at the time, it was just shock value, and supposedly they thought, I guess, they were gonna bring in more viewers if she did, but at the same time she wanted to do it to actually come out.
Yeah, and that that was like a historical moment in television, and then that happened, and then she got canceled. Her show got canceled.
Yeah.
It didn't last more than a season, right?
I never watched the show, to be honest. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, there's a Google machine next to me. I could figure it out, but it is.
Yeah.
As opposed to Men on Film, they did several sketches that came out.
Yeah. Yeah, they did it for multiple years. It looks like Men on Film went from 1990 to 1995 even. So, I feel like they just did their thing, man. They also did Men on Cooking and Men on Fitness.
Yeah. I mean,
men on Vacation, Men on Art.
I mean, as stereotypical as those characters were, they were likable. They were likable. Like, if they made like a feature movie with those characters, I mean, a lot of people would watch it.
It's true. It's true. This is very, very true.
I mean, I think that's the most important aspect of when people are creating characters. They have to have some likability to them.
I agree, and these guys were hilarious, and they're and Damon Wayans and David Alan Grier are geniuses because they brought these characters to life. I don't think anyone could have done it as well as they did. I kind of makes me wonder how many people they tested this with, or like was this just a brainchild of like Keenan Ivory Wayans, and he was just like, yeah, go get out there and do this thing, and I think it'll be really funny. And they're just like, well, okay, and they just kind of like went in 100% and fucking sold it,
No, they had a writer's room. They hashed out the sketch. It was just some ideas they were kicking around, and then they did it, and it just caught on.
Yeah, I honestly think their comical genius actually had a huge participation in this in the writer's room.
Yeah, I think David Wayans is freaking hilarious, man. I mean, not just his character in Men on Film, but like it's just different characters on the show in general. There's Homie the Clown, which I know Peter loves. There's
Damon Wayans was a featured player on SNL for a season, and he got fired because one, he wasn't getting a lot of screen time on SNL, but there was a sketch where he was playing a detective interrogating a criminal with his partner, and he was supposed to play it straight and be this straight up detective, but then he changes it up right before they go live, and then he plays it as a gay character. And then he got fired for it. So I think even then at the time, like, they were scared to have those types of characters pop up on like a mainstream show.
Yeah, and I was gonna talk about SNL, but I'm not very familiar with SNL. I watch I only watch it every once in a while, or when whenever the viral skits come up.
But we have our resident expert Jay. He could tell us.
Is that thing even live when they play that thing on TV?
There's a delay, right?
Yeah, there is a delay. But our next gauntlet, we should do characters from SNL and
why? So you can put your balls in deeper in her mouth, Jay.
Yeah, I was gonna say Juan's gonna complain that he's losing again.
I thought we were gonna do show tunes.
Yeah, no, we're not gonna do show tunes, Juan. We're not gonna do show tunes. But anywho, yeah, I don't know if Man on Film would survive 2023. The 2020s, just in the woke culture in general, but
Twitter would destroy.
But it's sad. It's sad that this kind of artistry, of going out there and being risque and telling jokes, is being looked. You have to shuffle it through a lens of I don't know the wokeness, which is whatever. It's just so you can't go out and have fun anymore, which makes me sad.
Yeah.
Well,
we can't tell knock-knock jokes anymore because it's offensive to doors.
I don't think you can't tell a lot of the jokes that may be considered offensive, but I think if you establish yourself as that type of person or comedian, then you can kind of get away with it. Because Dave Chappelle, as much backlash as he gets for some of the jokes that he tells, I mean, for the most part, he gets away with it.
Yeah. Yeah, he's uncancelable, And the thing is, though, he's established, right? He's spent all this time in Hollywood and building his career. It just makes me wonder, how much good material is being left on the floor in an establishment like SNL, right? Because they don't want to get canceled, they don't want to push the envelope, right? There's lots of clean comedy, I'm sure.
SNL,
as long as you're not Michael Richards, who just blatantly rips the N-word on stage with hecklers. I think you'll be cool.
There's a clip of Dave Chappelle at the Laugh Factory, and he talks about Michael Richards and his rant at the Laugh Factory.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he watched it, but he was more mad that the audience wasn't getting his show. They didn't have a good show, more than the fact that he was saying the N-word. Because as far as a comic goes, and then he was bombing, and then he was oh, they didn't like his show, so.
But he had a crappy show.
Yeah.
But he was saying the N-word, so it made that set more memorable. Well, Peter, thank you for coming on and talking to us about it. Juan, good luck to you, sir.
Fuck you.
We're gonna fucking get roasted in the gauntlet, my friend. Peter, I'm gonna play you out. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me.
See you on the next penultimate episode or the finale.
This is the finale. I thought.
No, but
did I misread the fucking text message?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did, and that's why you're jizz. And that's why you're jizz. Here's your music.
And that was Does Not Compute with Piz and Jizz.
All right, Juan. So thank you for. I don't really know if you had any opinions during that last segment there, but
no, I did not.
It's time for the gauntlet. We're not doing show tunes. Why not?
I can tell you that much. Either we go back to something that I could cheat on, or give me something I know.
No. Well, Juan, it's time for the gauntlet, though. It's time for the gauntlet.
I don't even know why we're doing it. We already know Jay won.
You don't know.
Oh, God, fuck you. Okay, go.
You don't know. But Juan, I think the last time Jay, you had 39 points.
No,
Is that
he
where
was
you
in
left
the
off?
40s, dude, I think.
37 points.
No, I think I had 39 points.
39? Man, it doesn't matter. Yeah, you have the most points.
It's like whose line has it anyway points. It doesn't matter.
I think, Juan, you have 7 points, which is, a lot better than I thought you were going to do at all. So there you go. And I have 14 points.
That's because you cheated.
Sure. Alrighty. So, Juan, it's still your turn because, You have the least amount of points. You have track number 19 to 25 to choose from.
What are the numbers again?
19,
19
to 25. Please. 19 for how many seconds?
5. There's no point for me to go in low.
That's not true. You could
just
come
fucking
in second place. All right, here we go. 5 seconds. Here it is.
Double Dragon.
I don't know what that was, but I don't think it was Double Dragon.
Contract.
Well, you only get one guess. I disagree that it was Double Dragon. I'm going to say that it was Toe Jam and Earl.
I disagree.
What is it, Jay?
It's Streets of Rage.
God damn it. No, I would like to go back in time and use my Streets of Rage answer from like every other fucking episode. But the answer is Streets of Rage. Streets of Rage. Juan, there's a bonus question here.
Go ahead.
Which featured on which console on release date? So what was the featuring console? Juan, do you know?
Sega.
Which Sega?
Dreamcast.
Yeah, there's this is how I know you're not trying.
Genesis.
Okay, so the answer is one.
Because he Googled it.
No, I
Yeah,
put it on my...
You put it on
my
what one?
mother's grave. I didn't Google it.
Oh, sure. But the answer is Sega Genesis, Juan. I'll give you your 1 point for that.
Wait, I actually got something right?
Yeah, technically you got it wrong and he changed your answer. And I allowed you to change your answer.
Yay, motherfuckers! Yay!
Hey, look at that self-esteem. Wanda. Hey. All right. So, Juan, it's my turn now. In show tradition, you usually choose. So, 21 through 25.
21.
All right. I'm going to go 21 for 1 second because why not? Here it is. I don't fucking know what that is. Let's go 5 seconds. Yeah, still no clue. Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast. I have no fucking clue.
I don't know.
Juan, you got anything, Juan?
Aladdin.
All right. Let's see what the answer is. Kingdom Hearts 2. And the extra point here is the name of the protagonist, which I don't fucking know.
Oh, it's
Keymaster.
Sora.
Oh,
Mickey Mouse.
Well, let's see. Okay, Juan.
Isn't Mickey Mouse with Kingdom Hearts? Oh shit.
Yeah.
Sure. But I think Jay's right. But here we go. That's correct. The protagonist of Kingdom Hearts is Sora. Well, there you go, Jay. You got more points. 41 points.
Points that he doesn't need.
And points that he doesn't need them, but it's good to have one. All right. So, Jay, now there's track number 22, 23, or 25 left.
25.
25.
25 for how many seconds,
One.
Jay?
1 second.
1 second. Here it is.
I don't know that one. Bubble Buster.
Thank you, Jay, for continuing to guess.
Can we do 3 seconds?
Yeah, here it is for 3 seconds. Track number 25.
I don't know.
I'm going to say
Halo.
Oh, that's a good guess. Tomb Raider? I disagree. Tomb Raider. That's what I'm saying. Juan, you got a guess?
Bubble Buster.
All right. Well, the answer is The Witcher 3. The Witcher 3.
Isn't that a Netflix movie?
The bonus point here, Jay, is the full title of the game.
I don't know.
Witcher released on Netflix.
No, I think it's, and I just downloaded the expansion for PS5, so I think it's with The Witcher 3, The Wild Hunt, and they have 2 expansions like Blood and Iron or Blood and Wine or some bullshit like that. So I think this is Witcher 3, The Wild Hunt. I got it. It's me. I get 1 point. Fuck you, Juan.
Well, you taught me a lesson.
Yeah, just like I taught your mom a lesson. Anywho,
when he had sex with her.
That was a
I need
lesson.
you to be respectful. She would have liked you. You were a nice man.
She does like him.
So Juan, perfect. Alrighty. So the standings are right now. Jay has basically all the points. 441.
Wait, don't I get my
points.
pity fucking opportunity?
I always forget about your pity fuck opportunity, Juan, because it's just so pitiful. But yeah, all right, here we go. Pity fuck. Thank you for reminding me. All right, Juan. So it's now your turn to get pity fucked. So you have pity fuck. Pity fuck number 4, 5, 6, or 8, or 4, 5, or 8. Juan.
5.
All right, and here it is.
Among Us. We already
no
did that
clue.
one.
Oh,
Among
what?
Us. We already did this one.
No, this is
Oh,
Among
then I
Us.
don't know.
Thanks, man. This sounds like something I would know. Like when I read them, I'm going to be like, "That's exactly what that sound is," but I can't. It didn't ring any bells immediately.
I don't know. It sounds like Altered Beasts when he turns into the wolf.
Dude, that game is awesome. Juan, you have no other guesses?
Among Us.
The answer is Grand Theft Auto Wasted Effects.
No, that's stupid. That is stupid.
Well, Juan, that's how we play the game around here.
Well, you cheat.
How do I cheat?
You were born.
Thanks, man. I'm going to need you to be respectful, Juan. I'm going to need you to be respectful.
Hey, before we end the show, I sent a thing on our group chat about wilding out and out.
Yeah.
I don't get the edge joke.
I don't either.
Really?
I can't tell if Jay's being serious or not.
It has something to do with their hair, but I don't know. I don't get it.
Sean?
Okay. So, first of all, to describe it, I'll leave this in. But so Juan sent this video from Wildin' Out where this white rapper and this black rapper were battling, and she makes a.
I thought they were just comedians. I thought
they're comedians
because isn't Kevin Hart on that side of the team too?
Yeah, they're all rapping. That's part of the skit. But anyway, the rapper makes a comment about how the other person didn't lay down their edges. Black people will usually lay down the edges like their little baby hair with some gel or some sort of thing. Because that's just a thing that black people do. I don't know why. It's just a thing.
I get the joke.
I don't know if you remember.
The joke was like, I see you got laid all except for the edges. I get it now.
I mean, it was funny because you had to be there for it. But but anywho, but yeah, it's a very specific thing. That's really all it was. So I'm sorry you didn't get it. And I'm glad we took this time to talk about it.
I wanted to know.
Well, Juan, at the end of the gauntlet, you have you got 8 points. And Jay has 42 points, and I don't think I earned any points this gauntlet.
Yeah, I'm going to catch up to you, motherfucker. Yay, bitch.
I'm still at 14. Still at 14 points.
No, you got 1 point for
what, Jay? For what? I'm the one that got the Sega Genesis.
No, he got 1 point for.
Oh, it was for The Witcher, The Wild Hunt. That's what I got.
Yeah,
he
The
didn't
Witcher.
guess that.
Yeah, he did.
I have audio to prove it. So fuck you, motherfucker. So we'll go ahead and crown Jay the winner in next week's episode.
Oh, so we're not doing the gauntlet next week?
Oh no, we'll do it. We'll just finish out the songs, man. I think it'll be fun to just go to see which ones we got left. We got Ozzy did a really good job making sure we had enough.
Unlike the other times?
I think we should use all of them.
No,
man,
Ozzy does a great job with the gauntlet stuff.
He does.
Yeah, I feel like Juan again. If you want to make one,
Ozzy,
you're more than welcome.
show tunes. Don't do music of the night. Jay knows that one.
Dipshit. Anyway, Juan, are you done? Are you done?
I've been done, man. Tonight is not my night.
I know. I'm glad to hear it. Do you guys have generational curses or things that you grew up doing that now you still do or you're trying to stop doing? Do you think the writer's strike is going to go on or the actor's strike is going to go on for like a year? Yeah. Do you think it's going to destroy some really, really good TV shows like it destroyed Heroes all those years ago? Tell us.
Oh, I forgot.
We want to know.
That one.
Yeah, man, it ruined season 2. Tell us. We want to know. Juan, do your thing.
I forgot about Heroes. That was a good fuck you. Hey, folks, don't forget to rate and review us on iTunes. That really helps us climb the charts or just even make it on a chart. Connect with us on our website at INCYCSHOW. We are on all socials. Also, email us some of your suggestions. Email us some of your suggestions, comments at incycshow@gmail.com, or leave us a voicemail. Just click on the link in the show notes below, or go to www.anchor.fm/INCYCSHOW. We also have merch in partnership with lindamyra.com. Get your very own I'm Not Crying, You're Crying shirt. Just follow the link in the show notes. And if you don't want the shirt, they have other cool merchandise that you can purchase. Support small businesses, guys, and women-owned businesses. Also, fuck you, Jay. Fuck you, Sean. Peace.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.